Good afternoon, friends. How are you all? I'm Rama Tandon. I'm a dyslexia therapist and I love reading and I want to encourage all the children to read. So I have started reading a lot of stories to all the children.
The story of Pinocchio. Once there lived a poor puppet maker named Geppetto. Geppetto had no child, so he liked to play with children. But he had a secret wish. He wanted to become the father of a real boy. One day, Geppetto started to carve a puppet out of a piece of a pine wood. He pictured in his mind the sort of son he would like to have. Miraculously, a blue-winged fairy waved her magical wand, and the freshly carved puppet became alive. Geppetto was amazed. "He looks just like the son of my dreams," he cried. He named him Pinocchio. Suddenly, Pinocchio seemed to move. That was not possible, but it was. Before Geppetto could stop him, Pinocchio ran into the streets. Geppetto ran after Pinocchio, calling, "Come here, Pinocchio. Do as you are told." When he caught up Pinocchio, Geppetto hugged him and called him son. Afterwards, Geppetto dressed the boy in smart red short and a blue shirt. The next morning, Geppetto sold his only coat so that he could buy all the books and pencils needed to take to school. "Be a good boy at school," said Geppetto as he kissed Pinocchio goodbye. On the way to school, Pinocchio met two naughty boys who, on seeing his new books, offered to buy them from him. Pinocchio agreed, and with the money, he bought a ticket to see a show at the nearby theatre. Seeing several puppets dressed in a variety of costumes, Pinocchio leaped up to join them and started dancing too. The audience loved it and clapped widely, showering him with gold coins. After leaving the theatre, Pinocchio did not go home. Instead, he wandered around, marveling at all the sights. Suddenly, two scoundrels, a fox and a cat, approached Pinocchio and started to ask questions. Pinocchio boasted that he was a dancer in the theatre and that he had 3 gold coins. "Come with us," said the fox. "You will not only have a good time, but we will make you rich as well, and famous," said the cat. They even invited Pinocchio to lunch. The lunch was splendid, but when it was finished, the 2 villains cunningly escaped through the window and left poor Pinocchio pay for the lunch. Remembering his good father, he decided to return home. The blue-winged fairy, who appeared in times of trouble, was waiting for Pinocchio outside the restaurant. She began asking questions, but Pinocchio answered her with lies. With each lie, his nose grew a little longer until it was enormous. "I know that you are telling lies," she said angrily. "I can see everything and I know everything." Pinocchio realized his mistake and begged the fairy, "Please forgive me. I promise to go to school, study hard and never tell a lie." The fairy forgave him, and with a sweep of her wand, she changed his nose back to its proper size. Pinocchio straight went to the school. There were many mischievous boys in the school. Pinocchio and his friends were fun-loving boys. They were planning to leave for the fun city from the school. Weakly asked Pinocchio if he was willing to join them. Pinocchio forgot his promise to the fairy. He joined the mischievous boys. Fun City was a wonderful place. Pinocchio played there with Weakly and other boys. Pinocchio was astonished when he noticed the ears of some boys. They were very, very long. He realized that his own ears were growing and he was beginning to look like a rabbit, like a donkey. Pinocchio shouted for help. The fairy appeared again. She scolded him. Pinocchio, you are behaving like a donkey and so you have become one. Your father had gone to the sea in a boat in search of you, and that an enormous whale had swallowed him. For the first time, Pinocchio realized just how badly he had behaved to his father. Eager to save him, Pinocchio jumped into the boat. How difficult it was to make progress, as the huge waves threatened to capture the boat. The whale that had swallowed Geppetto was lurking nearby and quickly swallowed Pinocchio as well. Pinocchio reached inside the whale's belly and he found Geppetto there. Both hugged each other. Pinocchio realized the true love that Geppetto had for him. As the whale swallowed just about everything that got in its way, Pinocchio picked up an oar and ticked the whale's throat with it. This made the whale cough loudly, and as it did so, Pinocchio grabbed his father and both shot out of the whale's mouth. Pinocchio tried to carry Geppetto to the surface, but he was too heavy. Pinocchio held his father's arm lightly and pulled him to the seashore. By then, Geppetto had already lost his consciousness. Oh no, his father was not breathing, and Pinocchio burst into tears, blaming himself for his death. But the fairy came flying through the air and smiling at the little Pinocchio, touched the old man with a magic wand. Geppetto opened his eyes, and so the great love he had for his son was rewarded. After restoring Geppetto to life, the fairy touched Pinocchio with her magic wand and changed him into a real live boy. Now the good man really had a proper son. Both the father and the son bade goodbye to the fairy and lived happily ever after. Thank you.